Good evening, good evening, everybody. We all hear me? Good evening, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. If we can hear me, can we signify in the comment section that we can hear me? All right. Good evening, Miss Adedamola. You're welcome. Good evening, good evening, good evening, Fathers. Good evening, Naomi. You are welcome, you are welcome, you are welcome. Such an amazing time to have you here once again with us. You are welcome. Welcome, Agnes. Welcome, Michelle. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Right. Vanessa, I can see you. Good evening. Joseph Miriam, good evening. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, everybody. All right. Let me officially welcome you to Girls in STEM, a global brought to you by the Girls Techie and in partnership with the Nexo Girls. You are welcome once again. All right. If you can see my screen, could you please drop in the comment section that you can see my screen, just to make sure everybody is involved in today's program. All right, Adedamola, yes, thank you, our amazing upcoming guest speaker. All right, Miss Cherish, thank you. Okay, as we can see on our agenda, we have a whole lot that is packed for us, and it's going to be an amazing session, trust me. So sit back, grab your pen, your biro, your tab, and everything needed. Come on a journey with me to talk about STEM. All right. Okay. So today, my name is Adepunle Abigail, and I will be your moderator for today, together with me with my co-moderator, Fisayo Fatade, who you'll be meeting in a few minutes from now. I hope we make this a very beautiful journey for both myself and you. All right. Just to make it a very beautiful one, to our house. Please, if your mic is on mute, please kindly mute your mic, just for everybody to have a beautiful session today. All right. Thank you. Like I said, imagine I've even talked about the first rules. Please keep your mic mute. Keep your mic mute. If you have anything to say, please kindly raise your hand in the feature below. Also, because we are here to learn and to unlearn and relearn, please feel free to ask any question, share any question in the comment section while the guest speaker is talking, so that when we have our question and answer time session, we just dive into it without wasting any of our time. And also, this is to let you know that this session is also recorded from promotional and educational purpose. And by participating and chatting, that means you consented with us on this. And right about this moment, I will be welcoming my co-moderator, Fisayo Fatade. Fisayo, over to you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Fisayo Fatade, a volunteer at the Girls Techie. I don't know if everyone can hear me. If you can hear me, please signify, send a reaction, or just type it in the chat. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Now, we'll be going into the icebreaker activity for the next few minutes, just to ease up the tension in the air and have a little fun before we get into the business for today. So the icebreaker activity is called one word check-in. So basically, you would use one word or one phrase to describe how you're feeling, or how you're feeling at this moment, your current mood, and or what you're even expecting to get from today's program. So instead of typing it in the chat, a link will be sent to the chat, which you will click, or you just copy the URL and paste in your web browser. it will take you to a site where you would actually write the phrase or you will write the word. And here's the twist: you can't use a word or a phrase that someone else has already used. So a link will be sent to the chat. You can click it or you copy and paste in your web browser. And we'll be doing that for the next few minutes. Just play around, use any word to describe how you're feeling, your current mood, or even a phrase, in fact. So let's begin. The link will be sent shortly.
Hi, co-moderator. The link has been sent already, so everybody should go to the comment section to check the link out.
Okay, so the link has been sent. Yes, so just click on it and let's get started with the icebreaker. And, yeah. I hope we have all been able to click the link. Um, okay, yes, it has been sent again, once again. Okay, can we all see the screen? Can we all see the screen? I'm seeing ready to be empowered, good, excited, great, amazing, and cold, cold, cold. Excited. I like that. I like that pun. Excited, energized, happy. So let's the words keep rolling and we have like 2 more minutes for that. Just type in you're feeling at the moment, any phrase. Remember, you can't use the same one that someone else has already used. I hope we can all see the screen so that we'll be able to we would know which words have already been used. We have amused, delighted, confused. Why would we be confused? The program today, well, I wouldn't want us to be confused because it's a very interesting program, and I would love all of us to have our material to jot down some key points and even our questions because there's going to be a Q&A at the end of each session. We have awesome, we have ready to learn, amused, not sure, not sure. Well, I hope by the end of the program you'll be sure about it. Great. Okay, I think, oh, some words are still coming in. Okay, thrilled. Superb. Great. Okay, we have about, I think I can count like 20 words here, which is amazing. And I'm really happy about the feedback. Keep the words coming in. So I think it's safe to move to the next agenda, which would be to explain why we're even here in the first place. We all know about the Girls Techie and Nexo Girls. These two organizations came together to form this program in honor of the International Women's Day. And I will be reading what are these two organizations about? Why would they even bother to create this program in the first place? So let's just have a little background check on what these two organizations are about. So I will start with the Girls Techie. This is a nonprofit organization aimed at empowering, inspiring, and connecting young girls in STEM. We are a community of girls on a mission to close the gender gap in STEM. As a volunteer, I was there at the very beginning when the co-founders formed this, and I was really so excited because of their different programs that they had. And this is one that I didn't even expect, but I'm so glad it's here. Now we move to the Nexo Girls. Nexo Girls is a non-profit organization dedicated to promoting gender equity and digital literacy among young women by encouraging their participation in STEAM, that is science, tech, engineering, arts, and mathematics fields, and social advocacy in a bid to alleviate poverty and stop gender stereotypes. So yes, these two organizations came together to form this, will I say, program, Girls in STEM, um, this program that we have this evening, Girls in STEM, a global conversation, confidence without borders. So, as I said before, I would like us to have our writing materials, our pens, or even your notepad on your phone. Get ready because we're going to have two amazing speakers going to talk to us about different topics. Maybe we're unaware about. So let's get ready and let's get excited. From what I've seen in the icebreaker, I know many of us are eager to learn. So yes, thank you very much for joining. Abigail, you're muted at the moment.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Like I said, as I was saying, I said, I am so happy to meet everybody and see how we all are feeling today. I can see a lot of people talking about how they're energized, confused. Well, at the end of the program, we'll see how it goes. Moving on to our next agenda, we'll be bringing up our first guest speaker. Right. Permit me to read our guest speaker's bio while we prepare ourselves to welcome our guest speaker. Our guest speaker, no other person than Raquel Borras, is a compassionate storyteller, podcast host, and advocate for youth empowerment. As a creator of Rack the Bold and Rated Gen Z, she amplifies young voices through candid, unfiltered conversations that bridge generational divides. With a deep commitment to creating safe spaces where young people feel seen, heard, and valued, Raquel is on a mission to spark meaningful dialogues and inspire the next generation to embrace their voices with confidence. We make welcome Raquel Borras, our first guest speaker. If you are excited, please drop in the comment section, make a beautiful emojis, how you feeling right now to welcome our guest speaker. Over to you, Raquel.
Thank you so much. I have to just say that I'm very humbled to be here. Like I got very emotional when you played that song. That was a beautiful song and just all of it. So um, for me, I am here to essentially just speak about my story and my journey to help all of you hopefully get to a place where you're able to make an impact, a huge positive impact. You're already making an impact, but globally, right? So I am someone that does not like prepare speeches or prepares talks. I like to speak in the moment and how I'm feeling. And for me, what I want to make very clear here is that, social media can be a very difficult medium that we're all on, and it could be seen as very negative at times. And I know that a lot of us, especially in the United States, talk about how it's affecting our mental health and our mental well-being. So I want to come from it in a place of the positive. And one of those positives is the fact that I get to be here speaking in front of all of you because it was through social media that I was able to connect with Naomi. And so I want to share a little bit of my background so you can kind of understand why I'm incredibly passionate about youth empowerment and amplifying all of your voices. So I am 49 years old, so I'm considered Gen X, as is the generation that I'm a part of. So I was born in 1975. But I myself, when I was 20 years old and I was in college, I suffered from depression. And I'm very open about this and very transparent. And I actually had a failed suicide attempt. And that was something that I didn't realize how it was going to affect me until recently, where I now have two kids. I have a 24-year-old son and a soon to be 21-year-old daughter. And being the parent of this generation, of Generation Z, I realize that it is so important for everyone to feel seen and heard and valued. And so for me, I was very fortunate, if you will, that I started a social media journey about 10 years ago on LinkedIn, which I know some of you are on that platform. And on that platform, I started creating content, not realizing I was a content creator or that I was building a personal brand. I was just following my inner voice in my heart and knowing that it was important for me to just share what I was doing, my journey. If I was at an event, I would post about the event, but I would always make sure that I was talking about the event and what it was for and showcasing the people. And so it was a lot of, it wasn't really much about myself, talking about myself. It was more about promoting others and in supporting others. And along the way, I realized that I was building this a brand, a personal brand, and people were following my story and my journey. And that's as over time that I was more visible on LinkedIn, I felt like I was able to be more vulnerable and open up more about my story. So I had finally shared about my past on LinkedIn, I want to say like 7 or 8 years ago. And when I shared that story about my failed suicide attempt and struggling with mental health years ago, but being on the other side and in such a fantastic place, I didn't realize how that was going to change the trajectory of my life, like literally changed everything, because I was willing to be open. And that's when people were able to connect with me in a way that was emotional, that resonated with them. And so it just allowed me to be even more open and just continue to just be vulnerable. And during COVID, I started a YouTube channel where I wanted to hear what all of you had to say. So I have a YouTube channel called Rock the Boat, and I have conversations. I think I might have 89 conversations right now, and it's with kids of all ages all around the world from all different countries. And that's when I realized that we are more alike than we are not. Once again, we all know different countries, different politics, different everything can shape the way that we see the world and can shape the way we think. And I have to say that being able to open it up globally and speak to the youth from all over the world, I realize that once again, we are so alike and that it is so important to amplify those voices and to show that there's so much commonality and that we can bridge the gap, even generationally. Being someone that I'm going to be, 50, I can relate so much to our youth in so many ways because I was once young, right? So it's a way of also kind of honoring that inner child that so many of us still have even as we get older. And so through that, I found that that was like my passion. And so then I had, corporate job, but I decided that it was time for me to follow my heart and to go all in with this. And so I started another podcast called Rated Gen Z in January, and that's specifically for my guests are 18 to 24 years old and all different topics. And from there, I decided I'm going to be doing a documentary film. So I have two filmmakers that are already on board, and I'm going to be traveling from California to the state of Virginia. So I'm going to be going across several states on the south of the United States in an RV, so like a camper truck with these two filmmakers, and we're going to speak to Generation Z. And the movie's called I Hear You, Gen Z, and it's literally just sharing all of your stories and your voices so that the world can better understand this generation. Because I do feel a lot of your generation is seen as very complicated and very difficult to understand. And so I want to be somebody that is able to put your generation out there so that people can not only better understand, but then want to be able to guide and mentor as well, right? So like mentorship is really important. And so that's why I love like what you guys are doing, because it's so important to be able to have the peer support, but also to have older, you know, generations come in and mentor and guide and give advice. So for me, ideally, what I want to tell all of you is that you all are trying to make a difference. You're all trying to make a positive impact. And the best way to do that is to just honor who you are, you know, just your authentic self, and put yourself out there in a way that you're serving others. I think a lot of times we do get intimidated by social media, and we can also get very much caught up in how people are going to judge us and what they might say about us if we put ourselves out there. And that's most likely inevitable. But if you're coming from a place with a good heart and you're doing in service of others and wanting to help, that outweighs maybe the negative piece of it. And so so for all of you, like, I don't know what your journeys are and what you guys are doing individually, but obviously here as a collective, we're trying to make a difference. And the more that you share that with others, the more you'll align yourself with the right people. You'll align yourself with people that want to help you too. And that's essentially like, as we collaborate and connect globally, that's how we're going to make a difference and hopefully move the needle, if you will, and for the better, because I do believe that we are a lot in a place where we let the outside noise kind of take over. And I just feel that it's so important to be able to quiet the noise and just listen to yourself and to trust yourself and to trust that inner voice. And that is something that I wish at your age I was better at. I think all of you are more self-aware, and your emotional intelligence is so much better than like it was for us, because you have access to so much. You have access to so much knowledge, so much information out there, that I feel like it has matured a lot of you in so many ways. And so now it's just being responsible with what you know and being responsible with your message and your mission, and to try to do it in a way that is compassionate, empathetic, because you can make such a huge difference and such an impact on people's lives. Like, I'm realizing that I'm able to do that, and it's, like I said, it's very humbling when that happens. But I want all of that for you guys, and so that's what I'm trying to do, is just create these safe spaces of non-judgment, you know, to be able to help all of you. And like I said, I know you guys are also trying to help as well. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's a journey. It takes time. Yeah, so okay, Abigail, you just wrote something. It's like that you can talk more for 20 minutes, like 20 minutes more, or I don't know how long you guys want me to speak, but if you guys have like any questions, or there's anything that you want to know more of, because there is so much to my story, my journey, and I want to make sure that I am giving you guys information that you're able to take away as valuable. And so if there's anything in specifically that you guys want to hear more about, please let me know, because I know that Naomi was talking about how, you know, how I have a very large following on LinkedIn, but that did take a lot of time and energy to get to a place of I don't know, 32,000 followers. So I can speak on behalf of like, if there are people here on this call that are trying to, put yourselves out there more on social media, I can help you with that. Yes, somebody had their hand up.
Yeah. Good evening. Good evening, madam.
Hi.
Good evening, everyone. So my name is Adidamola. I'm a product designer.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah. So I wanted to know, because I see you as, considering what you said so far, because I have not done my research about you. I didn't go to your LinkedIn to know your following or anything. But from what you
Yeah.
said, you mentioned something about impact, right?
Yes.
I want to know because I lead initiatives, right? So I just want to know that, okay, has there ever been a point whereby, in you delivering impact or impacting people, has there ever been a point whereby you feel like, oh, maybe you don't have so much more to give anymore? And if you felt like that, how have you been able to like manage this kind of situation? Did you, seek more knowledge? How did you seek more knowledge? Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying like in my moments of kind of, I guess maybe giving up or not wanting to do it
Yeah.
anymore, having the energy to do that. Okay, yeah. You know what's interesting is so I'm not a religious person, but I'm very much about like I have a lot of faith and I'm very spiritual and I do believe that the universe kind of is doing what it needs to be doing. So what's funny in those moments is that when I have those moments, something happens. Like either someone reaches out to me and says something like, Raquel, I've been following you. You put a smile on my face. Keep doing what you're doing. And then that's all I need, right? Or someone, or like you guys reach out and say, we would love for you to speak. So I truly believe that if it's your calling and it's something that you need to be doing, you're gonna have your moments, believe me, where you doubt yourself. Like I doubt myself a lot at times, believe me. Like I'm trying to do a lot. Like I've never done a film. I just started a podcast. Like I was in corporate America. I worked for a mortgage company. Okay. So like I was doing the 9 to 5 and getting the paycheck. But when there's something there that's really powerful and it's telling you to do it, like in those moments that you do doubt yourself, that you're unmotivated, that you feel like, oh, I just don't have the energy, there's always something there that's going to trigger it and remind you that that's what you're meant to be doing. And so I feel like a lot of times that's when you do need to kind of quiet yourself because it's in those moments that they come in. And but yes, we all go through it. Like it is kind of an ebb and flow. It's but I will say that because you guys are much younger than I am, so I've been on this journey for quite some time. Finally, at my age, I'm going to be 50 and doing this documentary film and knowing that I've never done anything like it. There's something about it that I have this sense of calm. Like, okay, I know this is going to be hard, but like this is what I'm meant to do. So, I hope that answers your question a little. Yeah. Okay. Because yeah,
Yeah.
it's normal for us to have those moments for sure.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for thank you.
absolutely. Thank you. Okay, next
Okay.
hand. I'll let you guys decide who's.
Okay, thank you so much, Raquel. I gained a lot from it. By a lot, I mean it feels so personal to me. You can't even imagine how personal that what you explained about the suicide attempts, the
Yeah.
depression, the starting a podcast, the YouTube channel, and as
Yeah.
someone who also wants to put myself out there, I tend to feel a bit scared because of
Yeah.
what people will say, what will people think about what I'm doing. And as you said before, people would have a lot to say, but then if I if I know what how the whole motive came to be, if I know it's going to be if it's coming from a positive heart, then I should just go for it, right?
Yes,
That's what I've
that's how
been
I
able to
remind
get.
myself. No, I'm the same way where in those moments I'm like, no, I'm not doing this is for a bigger cause. This is greater than me. So I have to come from that place where and not be so consumed about myself. I'd be like, okay, I'm doing this so that in turn it's helping others. And then that makes me feel better. when someone's not
Alright,
nice. But
alright. Thank you so much for that. So I see someone else's hand up to ask a question. That's our Starline. I don't know if you could drop your question in the chat. If not, maybe I would give you the floor to ask your question as well. So you can ask your question.
is it the person with the hand up? I don't know. I don't know if.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the person is still Aris Starline. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm so sorry if I pronounced it wrongly. Okay, so it seems the person isn't available right now. Okay, yeah.
Oh, I'm like, oh.
So I don't know if anyone else has any questions. If you do, you can
I
type
know.
it in the chat.
Yeah, I know. Someone said a confidence. Okay, so the confidence. Victoria, thank you for being confident. Yeah, that is another tough one because obviously when I was 20 and going through my depression, I was not confident at all. If anything, my confidence level was down on the floor. And having to build it back up took a lot of time for me. Which, it's a touchy thing because a lot of the confidence had to do with outside validation. Okay, because I'm assuming a lot of you young women are like me, where you seek outside validation. You need people to tell you, oh, you're great, oh, you're pretty, all of those things. Like you rely on those people to make you feel confident. And I was someone that seeked outside validation for years. I thought if that person says I'm pretty, then I must be pretty. But if I don't think I'm pretty, like it doesn't matter, but he thinks, you know what I mean? So it took a lot of self-reflection and understanding that we're not all perfect, because I tried to be a perfect human being, and that kind of led to my depression. Was I wanted to be perfect for everyone, and you realize perfection does not exist. You realize that we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and that's normal. So then it's honing in on your strengths, because you all have strengths. You all have many strengths. So it's recognizing your strengths, honoring those strengths, and focusing on those strengths. We tend to focus on the negative. We tend to focus on the weak parts of us. And it's when I changed my mindset, this is me personally, when I started focusing on the strengths of mine, my superpowers, that's when that confidence built. So like, for instance, with what I'm doing with all of you, I do feel like there's a strength and a superpower that I have, that I'm able to connect to our youth and be a person that allows them to be who they are. And knowing that, that's where I started focusing on. And then because I was focusing on something that I was good at and I loved, it just built my confidence up and more. And so that is something that I am just learning. And I would love for all of you to maybe even write down your strengths or what you believe are your strengths. And then maybe asking some of your best friends that know you really well and be like, let me ask you, when you see me and you think of me, like, what do you see my strengths are? Because a lot of times you don't even realize what your strengths are until someone tells you to. And that's something that I also learned from my friends, was them telling me, you know what, we see this as a strength. And then when I realized that, I was like, wow, they're right. It is a strength. But so sometimes it takes going to your friends and asking them, and you'd be surprised. So, so yeah, focus on, when it comes to putting yourself out there, how do you stop yourself from doing too much? Yeah. If I'm able to balance, even though it's really hard, let's say hard work, should I cut down on the things I'm doing, or should I keep going as long as I'm putting myself out there and helping others? Yeah, that is an interesting one, because I will tell you this, I'm really bad at balancing. I've always been someone that's the extreme. Either I'm really busy and it's crazy, or I am not busy, and then I feel like I'm not doing enough. And then I start getting upset with myself. That is something that's going to take practice and it's going to take time, right? So you're going to figure out because there were times where I was putting myself out there and I was creating content and doing videos every single day. And I was doing posts every single day, for instance, on LinkedIn. But I also understood in the beginning, it was important for me to be consistent, and because consistency is something that is needed in anything, and anything if you want to be successful. So for me, consistency was every day, which is that's not healthy. So if you want to put yourself out there, I would be consistent even if it's like 2 days a week. If you're like, okay, you know what, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to go ahead and post, but be consistent with that. Or even if it's just one time a week, be consistent with that, because that is something that, like I said, is going to benefit you as you get older and as you try to become more successful. The consistency part is what is going to help you in the long game. Because I think a lot of times your generation wants everything right away because everything's at your fingertips. So that you guys tend to be a little bit impatient, or you think like, I just did a post, it didn't go viral. Oh my gosh, like, what am I doing? I don't think I've ever gone viral, you guys, in the 10 years that I've been posting content, but I've been consistent, and my viewership and my comments and engagement have been consistent. And that to me is more important than having something go viral. So I would say that you're going to have to play around with it. It's something where in the beginning, you have to figure out what is too much for you. You're going to know, like, believe me, you're going to know where you're like, where it doesn't become fun anymore, where when it becomes like really hard and then you're questioning yourself, that's when you have to look at it and be like, okay, this is not fun for me anymore. I'm really starting to drain. Something has to give. I need to pull back a little bit. And you'll still be able to, put yourself out there and help others. It's just creating that balance for you. And it's not, my balance isn't 50-50. My balance is always kind of like a little off, and that's okay. I think the most important part for all of you is to extend yourselves grace. That is something that I've had to learn to do as well, is give yourself grace. You're human. You're not perfect. We all go through our struggles, our ups and downs. That's life. Life can be difficult. So try not to be too hard on yourself, because that's what happens is we get so hard, we come down on ourselves so hard. And I think that's the really tough part too. And so it's I've extended myself a lot of grace recently, and that's really helped me a lot, for sure. And I hope that helps. And then to tell us about procrastination, that it might occur sometimes in our journey, may not be too often. I'm the biggest procrastinator, you guys. I always have been, and I know that about myself. So once again, knowing that I'm a procrastinator, I'm like, okay, that's just part of my personality. That's just part of like my human makeup, right? Is being a procrastinator. So once again, it's grace. And knowing that I'm a procrastinator, I do try to at least honor that and be like, okay, what can I do to not leave something really to the last minute this time, like the night before? Because I was that person when I was in high school and college. I was that person that would stay up the night before really late studying or doing a project, because I was that procrastinator. Knowing that and knowing how I felt awful the next day, I think I had to be like, okay, remember how awful you felt? Remember how it did not feel good in that moment? You were anxious, you were stressed. And so I think knowing that now allows me to kind of not procrastinate as much, because I look at the other side. I always try to remind myself, like, remember how you feel when you do everything last minute. But once again, all of this is practice, you guys. This is really, it's building those habits. It's just, the mindset, all of those things. It takes time, and it takes just maturity. It takes, as we get older, I think any single human being my age or older that you talk to, they're going to say the same thing. So I just, for whatever reason, you guys are really, really hard on yourselves. And I think a lot has to do with because social media, you get to see what everybody else is doing. When I grew up, I had no idea if someone was successful in business unless I was talking to them or saw it in person. I didn't know that there were other people, doing all this stuff on social media because there was no social media. You guys are in a different place to where, unfortunately, you get to see what everybody else is doing. And everybody likes to put out all the good stuff and all the positive and all the highs. Not many people are going to put the struggles, put the parts, the days, there's days where I'm I have nothing to give. And so then that's when I do things for myself and I don't feel guilty about it anymore. Like the other day, I went and got a pedicure. I went to the beach. I live close to the ocean. The ocean always calms me. I walked on the beach for 3 hours, off of my phone, just listening to the waves. And it was amazing how it just re-energized me too. And it made me go back to why I do what I do. But it's important that we do those things. So anytime that you have those moments too, do something that brings you joy, even if it's listening to a song and dancing around to it. You'd be surprised how that helps your mood and elevates, because those are things that I have to do too as someone that has suffered from depression and has been in that dark place. It's important that I have those tools and that skill set to get me out of that place too. That's really important, right? Because it's okay, we can be sad, we could be bummed, we could be all those things, but as long as we don't sit in it for too long. Yeah. So, how do you overcome discouraging comments in social media? I think this is why it's so important that if you're coming from a good place and you're coming from a genuine place, you're not going to get that much negativity. At least I don't, and I hate saying that because who's to say what'll happen as I kind of do more and I put myself out there more. I could definitely get more negativity, but I've been very blessed to where it's mostly positive. And I think I know why, you guys, is because I have taken the time to build a community of people. And they've seen my journey, they've seen the struggles. So I've built this community to where it's people that I know and have that know me. So I rarely ever get strangers commenting on my post. It's usually people that I've interacted with in some capacity through my LinkedIn or Instagram. And so everybody's been really supportive. That's something that I feel incredibly blessed with. But I think a lot has to do with people. I've cultivated those relationships. I'm someone that behind the scenes, I am messaging. I am sending videos to people. I am meeting them for coffee if they happen to be in my town. Or if I go to a conference and someone wants to talk to me, I give them the time and I speak to them. And so I think because of all of that, I have this very loving community around me. So I really haven't had much experience having to deal with discouraging comments on social media. But like I said, that doesn't mean that it might not happen in the future. I'll let you know when that happens. But see, how were you able to build a following on LinkedIn? Most of the time I have no idea what to post on there. Yeah, I will tell you this with LinkedIn. It's evolved a lot since I was on there 10 years ago. It's like a totally different platform. Um, you know, they're actually the oldest platform. They're older than Facebook and everything. I think what LinkedIn's trying to figure out where they stand. They're not Instagram, they're not TikTok, but at the same time, they know that they're a social media platform. And a lot of people have now brought their TikTok videos or Instagram videos onto LinkedIn. And now people talk about personal stuff on LinkedIn, where before nobody did. So it's still evolving. And so it's changing, but I think the same thing, the one thing that hasn't changed is building relationships on there. People on LinkedIn are very intentional about wanting to connect with people that are like-minded. So if you are someone that is in a specific career, connect with those people. Don't hesitate to reach out to them in a message, but to reach out to them in a way that is very genuine. You don't want to sound like you're selling something or that you're like maybe a robot. Like you want to come at it in a place of like, hey, I'm just a person and I really want to connect with you or I want to get to know you. So like when it comes to posting on there, I would just honor what you're really good at. So there are people that are really good at writing. And believe it or not, a lot of people will do long posts and I'll read the entire thing. If it's captivating and it draws me in, like I'll read it all. And there's people that are really good writers on there. And that's what they do is they write. And then maybe just put a picture on there. People with video. I happen to be really good with video. I've come to a place where I feel very natural in front of my phone. And so for me, I like to do videos because I feel like that just connects better with my audience. So if that's something that you can do video. But I would do what makes sense for you. Like you don't want to force it. So with posting, yeah, try to find like what works for you with the posting piece of it. And once again, like it's engaging in other people's posts, it's creating that community so that they support you. And that's I think the hard part for a lot of people is creating the community because it is scary to just reach out to people and just like connect. But that's I think what made me stand out from the beginning was that I was not only posting, I was building community at the same time and building friendships and relationships. And so now, like, I have so many amazing human beings as friends, and it was all through LinkedIn. But it was once again the interaction, the taking the time to get to know them. If you expect to put yourself out there and have people comment and view and do all of those things, you have to do it in return. It's very reciprocal. Like you can't expect to post and have everybody support you and be your cheerleader and do all these things. But if you're not doing that for other people, guess what? At some point in time, they're going to be like, why are we supporting this person if they're not doing it in return? And that's something that I try to do every day. I try to take maybe 10 minutes out of my day to just engage on people's posts and just comment or direct message them. Because that makes a huge difference too, if they know that they're getting it in return too, then they're going to more likely want to support you as well. How can you create your own account for content creation? Are you like specifically like a LinkedIn account? So I want you guys to know I'm somebody too that I love to help. So if there's anybody on here that needs specific help with their LinkedIn, like please reach out to me, message me, and I don't mind like jumping on a Zoom and just kind of doing like a screen sharing and just kind of helping you out, or even jumping on and doing like a little LinkedIn webinar. I don't mind that at all because I just know how important LinkedIn is. And so I would love for all of you to kind of better utilize it and understand it because it really, like I said, it is a game changer. And it was for me. Like I attest LinkedIn to like changing my life and being able to do what I'm doing with the film because now I have people in my corner that are like, we've seen you evolve and now you're doing a film. Like we want to support you and we want to help you. And so because of that, I basically have a team of people now supporting me with this film through LinkedIn. So yeah, like feel free to reach out to me and I can help you for sure. Did you ever feel insecure? Oh my gosh, yes. I felt so insecure at first, you guys. Like when I did my first video, my kids make fun of me because I looked really awkward. I was trying to be someone I wasn't. I was trying to act professional, which I don't know what that really meant at the time. I think it meant being serious and creating content that was very serious. But I realized as soon as I started showing more of my personality, which for years on LinkedIn, my headline was Queen of Goofiness. And I did that on purpose because I didn't want people to follow me because I was the CEO or a founder of something. I wanted them to follow me because it was just me. So I had Queen of Goofiness and I started showing more of my personality. And as I did that, that's when I realized that people were really connecting with me and wanting to follow me. And as I did that, I just became more and more confident with that. And I will say, I did use the filters at first. Once again, insecurity. And let me tell you now, if you see my LinkedIn or my Instagram, a lot of my videos, I have zero makeup on, no filter. Sometimes haven't showered because I just came back from Pilates or but I felt compelled in the moment to share something. And I will just pull out my camera and I'll just start talking into my camera. And I will tell you, it is so empowering as a woman, especially as a woman, very empowering, liberating, knowing that I just put myself out into the world exactly as who you would see me walking down the street. And knowing that feeling, I realize this is what everybody should have that feeling. Everybody should feel like they could just put themselves out there, like in that moment, not having to worry about like, oh, my nose, and am I not contoured, and my eyelashes or my hair. It feels amazing. And knowing that, and also knowing that if I'm trying to empower all of you, but I can't empower myself, then I'm a phony, right? So I have to walk the walk. And that's a really tough part too, where you'll get a lot of people online, they're just talking, but when it comes to their lives, they're not really actually practicing what they're preaching. And I have to be someone that practices what I preach. If I want my daughter, and if I want young women to be confident and own who they are and feel beautiful with no makeup on, then I have to be able to feel that too and put that out there. And so, yeah, it took some time, but I'll never forget the first time I did a video where just no makeup, no filter, anything. And when I pressed post, it freaked me out a little bit, but at the same time, I was like, okay, nothing changed. Like everybody still, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, Raquel just went online and, just in her raw, authentic self. Like it was a great feeling. So I would love for all of you to be able to get to that point and have that feeling of like, this is me. um, yeah, so that's kind of how I dealt with it. But once again, it took time. Once again, it's just doing it over and over again to the point where like, okay, this is really comfortable. It's not as bad. But it's just starting. Oh, thank you on my film. Yeah, so this is what I'm trying to figure out, and maybe you guys can give me some advice on this, is obviously I'm traveling in the United States, but I have conversations with, Gen Zers from all around the world. I want to be able to incorporate your voices. So like someone on like yourself on this call, like do you think there's value in you guys doing like a video? Like if I had a question about your generation, would you guys be willing to like do a video to answer it and like send it to me? And then that could be something that I could have like kind of um in the film too, because I don't want it to just be a film about, Generation Z in the United States. Once again, Generation Z all around the world, you can all, I think, benefit, and everybody could benefit from listening to Generation Z, yeah, from all different countries. Yeah, so I'm just curious, like you guys can, tell me. So yeah, so just reach out to me. Like I said, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Instagram, I have a TikTok, but that's the thing is I hate TikTok. And so I also have to put my energy. I don't have a Facebook anymore because it wasn't serving me. So you need to be where it serves you. LinkedIn and Instagram serve me. Like this is where I feel comfortable. So then I don't stress out about, oh my gosh, I have to be posting on TikTok. Oh my gosh, I got to be on all platforms because that can exhaust you. Like if you try to be everything all different platforms. If I were you guys and you guys are just kind of starting out on the journey, pick one or two platforms to focus on. So okay, someone has their hand up really quickly, and then I'm gonna be finished. So Victoria, do you have a question, or did you put it in the comments? I can't remember.
Hey,
I did put it in the
Hey,
comments.
Victoria.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, because of our time, please, you can just drop the message in the comment section. So, please,
Yeah.
because of our time.
All right. Thank you. I hope that
Thank you so
I know
much.
I'm all over the place, but that's my personality, and I have to honor that too.
Okay, anyways, before we go to her question, thank you so much, Raquel. Your session, your talk in general has been really inspiring, really insightful, and it's been able to clear up a lot of things that even I had a lot of questions about, especially being someone who is trying in content creation. And yeah, I jotted down a few points. Know your strength, build a genuine community. And it's okay if you're not always balanced, but as long as you know what you're doing. Okay, someone is asking for your Instagram handle, Raquel. If you have one, so you can just place it in the chat. Thank you so much. Then be your authentic self. That's one thing that I took away. That would always be in my heart. Be your authentic self, because even on social media, it could be that you social media might try to change who you really are to fit into their standards, but as long as you know why you're doing what you're doing, I don't really think that matters at the end of the day. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, Raquel. I feel everyone is saying thank you, Raquel. Thank you, Raquel. Thank you so much. And someone is asking for your Instagram handle. I don't know if you'd be willing to drop that in the chat section. So
Yeah, I dropped it in there, but I'll put it in again.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, someone said they enjoyed your class. Thank you so much for indeed. We are grateful. Much love. Yes. So now I would give it to Abigail to handle the next section. Yes, I'll give it to Abigail to handle the next session. Next section. Yes. So her Instagram handle is in the chat, so you can just follow her and connect. Yes, connect. Be part of the community.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, Raquel, once again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really, really appreciate, and I learned a whole lot. I learned a whole lot. I learned about you talking about building community, the importance of community, and I could not agree further that building community is very important and very crucial for a sustainable, growth and development. Once again, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. I hope we all enjoyed the session. I hope we all enjoyed that session. I hope we all enjoyed the session. So moving on to the next thing on our table, we will be bringing you sneak peek about the Girls Techie. Please sit back and watch. right. I hope we enjoyed that. That is just a quick pick from the mini. Okay. We run this mother. Girls run the world. Girls. A minute, please. Right, and we are bringing next to you a sneak peek into the Nexo Girls. Sit back and enjoy.
Every journey they say begins with a single step, but I think that it is the unique footprint we leave that truly defines us. Hi there, I am Eunice Adeosi, and my journey began as a response to the challenges I witnessed growing up. Raised in a small family that struggled financially after losing my father at age 9, I faced harsh realities. However, instead of giving up, I saw this as an opportunity to empower myself and other females in similar situations. My gap year was when I discovered my passion for tech, advocacy, leadership, and volunteering. Driven by a strong desire to alleviate poverty and challenge gender stereotypes that I noticed in my rural community at the time in Lagos State, Nigeria, I founded Female Youth Global Empowerment, an NGO that equips young women with globally demanded skills to narrow gender gap in tech by promoting digital literacy and fostering the inclusion of women in STEM fields. So far, we have reached over 2,500 youth. I organized the Global 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence campaign at ALU. The campaign brought together diverse advocates from 15 African countries, India, Haiti, and Japan, and we reached a total of 34,796 people with our message.
Hello everyone, my name is Blessing and I've been volunteering with the Female Youth Global Empowerment for the past 3 years. And being part of FYGE has been incredibly amazing, I must say. I've had the opportunity to network with people, make new friends, like Salma, Kimiradi, Pixel, Sophia, and so many others. And I've also had the opportunity to work in different teams as a team member and also a team leader. And yeah, it's really been an amazing moment with FYG. And one of my favorite moments was in 2021, December, where we had the 1 week intensive digital training class, Upskill 1.0. And I was part of the participants. I had the opportunity to learn different things about the importance of LinkedIn optimization, brand marketing, brand awareness, content creation, the importance of volunteering. And it was really an eye-opener for me. And I feel it's moments like this that reminds me of the impact we are making here at FYG. So yeah, I'm really proud to be part of an organization that is making a real difference in the lives of young girls. And I'm excited to see what the future brings.
Hi, I'm Demarasa and I was a beneficiary of FYG's Upskill program in 2021. I learned about 80 digital skills in 8 days and got certified. FYG helped me discover my passion for technology and web development. Also helped my passion for content writing to be more intense. One of the skills we taught was web development. One who is interested in web development, I found this lesson very engaging and very valuable. And that's why after the upskill program, I decided to further pursue web development by enrolling in a training where I learned how to use HTML and CSS to create a 3-page website on my phone. In essence, the upskill program opened my eyes to see hidden gems in web development. Another skill was freelancing, which was taught by Lena Robert, where I learned how to use my skills to make more money. So I am someone who is passionate about content writing and SEO. The freelancing class opened my eyes to certain platforms where I can actually earn money and I will not be restricted by monthly pay. I never thought that I was actually going to learn so much in just 8 days and get certified, but FYG made this possible and I'm super grateful for the opportunity. Thank you, FYG.
These are just few of the many success stories FYG has helped to create through education, digital literacy, and empowerment. And we are shaping the next future female leaders. We cannot wait for the government to cause a change, which is why I believe in grassroots initiatives to provoke the change that we want to see.
International missions hereby young girls are created a more inclusive and equitable society. Visits are linked to learn more about how the clan gets involved.
Thank you, and I can't wait for the exciting experiences ahead. We can make a difference.
All right, welcome back. So most of us would have probably noticed we were hearing FYGB, FYGE. So that is what Nexo Girls used to be referred to. We used to address Nexo Girls as FYGE, but now we had a change of name and it's also now referred to as Nexo Girls. Now, I would like to make an announcement because we are meant to have another guest speaker come up right after now, but because of some things, some unforeseen circumstances, she would not be able to join us today on this program. We really, really apologize for any inconvenience that must have caused you. But I believe you enjoyed Raquel's moment because, oh God, I did. I enjoyed every little details and every other thing that she mentioned. And I'm looking forward to connecting with Raquel as much as every one of us is doing, right? Over to you, Fisayo.
Okay, so now that that is done with, we've gotten the sneak peek of the Nexo Girls and the Girls Techie. Now we are rounding up, we are concluding. But first, before that, we would like to do a pose. This is how it's going to go. Every one of us, we're going to turn on our camera. We're going to turn on our camera and we're going to create a little heart shape with our hands towards the camera. That is the signature pose of the Nexo Girl. So we're just going to do that together. So every one of us in this meeting right now, we're going to turn on our camera and do that exact pose. If you please. Let's take the next few minutes, turn on your camera and do that pose. Can you see the pose? I think you can see the pose. This heart shape pose right here. Okay,
Hi, Fisayo.
Hi. Yes, I saw your hand was raised up. Yes.
Yeah, Abigail, you can stop sharing your screen so we can take a screenshot of
Yeah, so
everyone
you can.
doing the post.
I was thinking
Yeah.
the same thing. Okay, so if you're just turn on your camera so we can all do the pose and we can take a screenshot of it as well. So yes. I don't know if this is okay by the host. Can you see everyone from your screen, from your side of the screen?
Yeah, but I'm waiting on Raquel. Yes. All right. 1, 2, go. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining today. I'm sure for those who said they were confused, they were not sure. I'm sure you're very sure at this point. And thank you so much, Raquel, for your time. Thank you each and every one of you for making this program a success tonight. And we hope to see you in future programs to come. I'm your co-host, Fisayo Fatade, and volunteer at the Girls Techie, and with me was Abigail Adikmonli from the Nexo Girls. Thank you so much, everyone. I don't know if the host has anything to say.
Adekunle
Anything?
Abigail.
Yes. I don't know if the host has anything to say concerning this before we all take our leave.
Just a quick one. An email will be sent to everybody where you'll get to fill a
Yes.
feedback form and say all your thank you to Raquel. And also, we're going to send you the link to the recording so you can watch and, relive the experience of today's event. Thank you so much. And to our two beautiful moderators, thank you so much. You guys rock. And to
Thank
everyone,
you.
to the Girls Techie, thank you for collaborating with Nexo Girls, and we hope to do more of events like this in future. Have a great evening.
Yes. So everyone, thank you so much. Make sure to follow the Nexo Girls on Instagram and on LinkedIn. The same thing with the Girls Techie. You can follow Raquel as well. So yes, we have come to the end of the program. Thank you so much, and keep sharing the love.